Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Yawning Podcast. Now, I'm quickly just here to jump in here. This is Yawning for the future. I've already recorded the podcast, and I just wanted to let you guys know that in this podcast episode, it's going to be a little different. Granted, this is like a very serious podcast, but I also just wanted to test something. This episode is kind of more or less dedicated to people that don't really like just, putting on a podcast and have really nothing to really look at. Not everybody wants to look at a still image. So this is kind of supposed to satisfy people that just need something a little stimulating, but not something too distracting. You know how like on TikTok you can see a Reddit story being told, but they have like Subway surfers on the bottom. This is kind of supposed to satisfy that type of itch. Now, all gameplay footage you're going to see in this podcast episode is recorded by me and myself. I am currently playing Roblox. I am playing, what the fuck is it called? 99 Nights in the Forest. I know it's a really odd choice, but I didn't feel like playing Silent Hill Book of Memories. I also tried playing like a PSP game, but like nothing was really catching my eye. I wanted to get something that wasn't too story driven to where it might distract you from the podcast episode. I also didn't want to have something that was too fucking lame, just something just to kind of watch grow in silence. It's just something just to kind of test out, just for people that can't really just sit here and just listen to a podcast. They need something to visually stimulate them. All right, enjoy the episode. Hello, my sexy liberals. Welcome back to another episode of the Yawning Podcast. Yes, we're on episode 3, and yes, this is in fact 2 weeks late. I do apologize. Just a lot of crazy shit has been going on. Some of you guys are probably gonna be watching this episode and just thinking damn, here comes the fucking smackdown of the goddamn century. And unfortunately, this is not your episode. I'm very sorry. I did tweet it out saying I was gonna talk massive shit about NearsGarden, but it's been 2 weeks at this point, and about maybe over 7 tries I tried to record this episode, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not as bitter. When the first time we were recording this, I was just straight up just fucking ripping her a fucking new one. I'm gonna be honest. Wait. Yeah, is it her? Do they even go by she, her? No, they said they stopped going by she, her in 2020. I read the doc. But yeah, so much crazy shit has been going on. I did a call out on an artist that basically scammed me, and then I learned that he scammed other people. NearsGarden gets canceled, and we'll get into that in a second. I tried to buy chocolate. It just tastes like a really fucking good Kit Kat. It has pistachios in it, so if you don't fuck with that, then don't fuck with it. But it just tastes like a fucking decent ass Kit Kat bar, and I'm gonna be honest, I fuck with Kit Kats heavy. We fuck with Kit Kats heavy in this household, by the way. So Dubai chocolate, scrumdiddlyushes for $8. I mean, I beg to differ. It's already bad enough that chocolate over here is what, $3-4 at this point? Just to pay an extra another $3-4 just for it to be gone in a couple seconds. I mean, damn, just cannot live in luxury anymore. What else has been going on? Holy shit. I started playing a fuck ton of Fear and Hunger. What do you guys know about Fear and Hunger? Fear and Hunger, start playing a ton of it. Finally, I am finally getting to the point where I can actually live a little longer. Because I have replayed that fucking game so many times and barely even scratch any surface of fucking lore. I only got up to the part where I think you need to make a concoction to blow up this wall or something so that you can actually progress further in the game. I think that is as far as I got. I don't know, all the Fear and Hunger bitches would know what the fuck I'm talking about. I think. What else has been going? Oh, I just got through playing this game called Hokko Life. And when I mean got through, I mean I like ultimately fucking closed that game after playing it for like maybe like a good like few minutes, because that game is ugly as fucking shit. I want you bitches to stop whatever you're doing. Look up Hokko Life, HOKKO LIFE, Hokko Life, and tell me that game does not look terrifying. Tell me that game does not look the most lifeless looking fucking game that you ever seen. I remember when Hokko Life was like making its rounds on the internet, when people are getting bored of like Animal Crossing New Horizons, and they're just like, we need a new game, we need a new game. And then Hokko Life came to the scene and everyone's like, yes, yes, Hokko Life, the savior of all graces. And I didn't really hop on that fucking train because I don't really give a fuck about like life simulation games or like farming games of any sort. But I was interested enough to look at it for like a split sec. I think I only seen like the artwork for it. I never actually really seen like gameplay for it. I never really watched I just didn't ever see any gameplay for it. I saw the name, I saw the art, I maybe saw like a couple screenshots, and I thought like, oh, this game looks pretty enough. But then when I booted the fucking game, it had zero to no customizations for your characters. Like, you know how like an Animal Crossing at least tries to step it up and does like slight bare minimum by like giving you different skin colors, giving you different eye shapes, giving you different nose shapes, giving you different mouth shapes. Try to find a middle ground with these hairstyles. With Hokko Life, it only feels like you're offered femme, if not lesbian-esque hairstyles for the black femme, for the dark femmes. Which, like, no hate to y'all, but like I wasn't expecting to feel like I'm potentially creating a what's that word? It kind of felt like I was like accidentally gonna start cultural appropriating for some fucking reason. And also at least they were semi nice enough to make a custom slider for like your skin color and hair, but those sliders are dog shit. Like I'm like fucking useless. I accidentally made myself too fucking dark, so I'm just running around looking like a fucking butch black lesbian. And it was not even intentional at all. I just anyways, even though I started the game, I started running around, it's like it kind of starts off a little cool, like you're like a little passenger on the train, you're like dozing the fuck off, you end up in this town, it's like pouring, raining, you're like cold, naked, and afraid. You don't really end up naked, you just end up there. Then you run into this inn where there are these two very horrific looking characters are having a conversation with each other, and they look so fucking horrifying. Like they have like in Animal Crossing, they look kind of cute and small and, you know, cartoony, while your character looks semi-normal to you. But no, quite literally, you share the same physique as these animal characters, and they have just really like something about it just feels uncanny. They and then when their talking animations is just mostly consistent of them just moving their arms up and down a little bit, and that's it. I don't know, you have to see it for yourself. It's just a very ugly looking game, and I just couldn't take it anymore. Maybe after like the first like 20 minutes of me trying to like stomach the fucking game, because I immediately I was in the tutorial state. That's how fucking awful it felt. Like it was like teaching me like, hey, you have to collect these materials in order. No, what was it? No, it was after the fact that you chop down these pieces of log that are blocking these abandoned houses that whatever the fuck these characters are going to offer you, because you're just like, oh, you're a new face, you're new in town, let's help you build a house, let's help you get a home here. Just do us a favor, here's an axe that barely fucking works, might I add. You can be facing the fucking object you're trying to chop down, and it will not register at fucking all. It is dog dookie water. And yeah, chop the shit down. You get the house, you wake up the next day, you go out, and I'm having a conversation with one of the tutorial characters that run one of the shops when you enter town in the beginning. And I was just like, I can't take it anymore. Like, one of the NPCs are like walking across the screen. They're so fucking ugly and terrifying. I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. How the fuck do we refund a Nintendo Switch game? And it turns out you can't, because well, it's not like you can't. You can try if you want to, but it's not like, you know how like when you buy a Steam game, if you ever use Steam, by the way, but for my Steam users and non-Steam users, on Steam, let's say if you buy a game and you're not satisfied with it, or you're not liking it, or you just think like, you know what, I think I made a mistake, I want to take it back, you have the option to refund it. It's as simple as a couple clicks, one or two. You can simply say like, I don't really like the fucking game, I think the game looks ugly, the game's not as advertised, or you know, I basically regret my fucking purchase, give me back my fucking $4. Like, you're allowed to do that. With the Nintendo eShop, you're not really allowed to do that. You can try and just be like, hey, I think I made a mistake with my purchase, can you guys give me my money back, please? And they can literally go yes or no. I'm not fucking with it, I'm not gonna try it, I'm just gonna be stuck with this game on my fucking digital library, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna let it die, because I think Hokko Life is probably gonna be a game if I'm bored out of my fucking mind and I have no idea what else to do, and it's most likely just going to be a game I'm just going to unshovel because I'm just bored as shit. I think that's all I'm really going to do with it. Because look, if you look at the screenshots, it's so fucking ugly, bro. It's so if you love life simulation games and you know, you want to decorate your town and kind of have semi free will in some shit, but you also really hate yourself and you just love giving yourself nightmares because you're just traumatized and you hate being around pretty and successful people, then definitely play Hokko Life, especially if you just want to be femme presenting. I'm not sure if you can make yourself look masculine in the game. I'm not sure if there's anything masculine in the game, but if there is, I'll be fucking pretty damn surprised. I'm just surprised. I mean, it's not like they don't have any masculine hairstyles, it's just they just don't have a lot of them, which is kind of crazy to me, because sometimes I usually feel like when I play some games, it kind of feels like the opposite, where I don't think there's like enough femme presenting stuff, or maybe I'm just projecting. Or there's like usually like an even amount, but like all the boy stuff is like ugly, so you just rather would be a girl in the end. But this one, it's just like, I don't think they even tried. I don't think they gave a fuck, especially when there wasn't like a option to like change like her eyes or anything. I was just like, wow, they really just did the bare minimum. Like, they let you run in that bitch with the shirt, the pants, and the shoes that you boot up the game with, and all they said is like, you get to do one of the few. You get to change your hair color, you get to change your skin color, you get to change your eye color, and that's it. You no other options. You could change your hair, but if you don't like any of them, fuck it, you gotta pick one or go bald. And unfortunately, I just picked the fucking shitty looking mohawk one, and I was really not happy with it. Also, on top of that, I made myself too dark, so that was really awesome. So yeah, that was Hokko Life. What a fucking ugly ass game, and I hate the fact. Good thing I bought it on sale and not full price, because then I would have been very, very pissed off. that I did. I forgot how much it even cost. How much did a Hokko Life cost? Because I bought it off of the eShop. If I can know my keyboard. Hokko Life. I don't know. I think I might pay anything but pay. I think I might play a little more of it when because like, you know, I'm currently like taking a break from it because it's just so fucking ugly. I paid $5 for this bitch. I want my money back. I want my $5 back. Speaking of wanting money back, let's talk about the artist I had to call out the other day. Oh, well, the game's like $20. Okay. Well, it's not a very expensive game, but even $20 with the shit it offers you does not feel like much. I don't know. Then again, when I was playing the game, unfortunately, it was like very, not very sunny. It was kind of drizzly, and the game looked very gray and sad, so I was really not feeling the vibes of it. I don't know. Maybe I should play a little bit more of it. Maybe they have like more hair options. Maybe they have like a salon and a clothing store that you can explore. I don't know. Maybe I should just give maybe I should give the game like a little bit of a chance. But I will say the start of the game is not, it's not there. It is not it. It is not it. It is not it. It is not it. Ooh, they have Harvest Moon on the eShop. Let me go check out Harvest Moon in a second. But yeah, that's Hokko Life. That's my review of Hokko Life so far. I'm not that thrilled about it, but I don't know. Maybe it might be a good game. Maybe I won't change my mind. I'll let you guys know in future episodes if I decide to keep playing Hokko Life. A game I do really want to buy though on the eShop is Touch Detective. If you like, what the fuck do you bitches know about Touch Detective? I'll get into that game another time because we don't really have like a lot of time to really talk about shit. So yeah, Hokko Life, giving back my money. But also, speaking of giving back my money, there was an artist I had to call out who is kind of infamous for like scamming people. Yes, and it's gonna be really, really sad for the name I'm probably gonna say, because he is not unknown to the Yawning Bear universe. He is actually was a good friend of mine on the Yawning Bear channel, and his name was Chase. His at on Twitter and Blue Sky is Chase Desu. He is a very, very, I think a very, very talented artist. If he actually fucking finishes his shit and puts his whole pussy and respect to his work and people that give him money for his work, I think he's very, very talented when he's not fucking scamming people, by the way. I think he's very, very talented. He really knows how to draw some very nice physiques. He can draw from... Sup guys, Yawning Bear from the future again. Whoa, a second cut. Yeah, so I'm gonna cut this rant short. So I did end up getting my money back. Chase finally responded by making a group chat with me and one other person, a mutual, if you will. And to make the long fucking story short, I did end up getting my money back at the price of being just full-blown disrespected. Yeah, let's get into it. So, for about a couple days at this point, I've been trying to get Chase to give me back my money. At first I gave him a chance by messaging him about the alts, asking like, hey, are you gonna finish them? Like, what happened to them? Because at this point it's been like 11 months. Like the day of, it's been on point 11 months. So I tried asking him about it, being like, what's up? What happened to them? What's going on? I didn't get a response. So then a couple days go by. I ask him like, hello, like, where are you? No response. And then I think like a day later, I'm just like, hello? I didn't get a response. So then I end up, of course, making the call out.
saying buyers beware, don't commission this guy, he's practically ghosted me, da 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 da. So then I posted on my server, I posted it on other people, I went on Discord servers to post it about it as well. Because I know a lot of bitches are fucking nosy and they just love the drama, so I figure they're gonna eat that shit up. And then what the fuck else happened? So a little fast forward next week, Chase makes a group chat, he adds me in it, but in this whole entire situation, I've been kind of losing sleep over, like I've barely been going to bed on time. So so the day before, I only really got like barely an hour of sleep. That is if you want to call it an hour. I'm going to say barely an hour, but it really wasn't an hour. I just barely closed my eyes. And I guess in the moment when I closed my eyes, I kind of slept really, really hard, like about a good 10 hours straight, give or take. By the time I woke up, Chase have actually directly messaged me, and I'm actually going to read our conversation at this point. Chase had actually directly messaged me because I didn't respond in the group chat in time. And he sends me, this is quite verbatim, this is quite literally his first message. Faggot, I'm literally waiting for you in the group chat and you here ignoring. Like, sorry, I have a life outside of Twitter. Literally waiting for your fat ass to hop in the group chat so I can literally discuss about the payment. To which I responded, have you lost your fucking mind? Yeah, you have a life outside, but I also gave you money 11 months ago for a commission. Meanwhile, you're out here completing other commissions and opening your slots. To which he responds, it ain't my fault if people paying for priority. To which I respond, oh, so then it's my fault for giving you money then. To which he ends up responding, I was literally working on the missing alts. It wasn't my fault that my tablet restarted on its own while I was drawing this, including the alts. To which I responded, Chase, it's literally your responsibility. Hello, what's not clicking? Can't even communicate either, so what's up with that? To which Chase ends up responding, I was working on it, I was streaming it to multiple people. I was streaming it to multiple people. Know that I was working on it and not slacking. He must have been fucking nervous when he was typing this shit, because he quite literally had like several like errors. I'm not going to argue further. I'm just trying to get you the refund, so I made the group chat. To which I responded, because I was replying to the part where he says how he was streaming it to other people. To which I responded, yeah, that I had to find out on a whole other server from a completely different person. Because, mind you, I told you earlier that I was posting my call out like everywhere, and somebody actually ended up responding it that ended up being like a friend of theirs that told me that, oh, he was actually working on your commission not too long ago. It's kind of weird that I had to find out that he started working on it again from another person 2 days, either 2 days or a day later, when he could have just told me, oh, hey, I'm actually working on it now. But also you had like fucking 11 months to work on it, so what the fuck? Like, there's really no excuse here. And then I continue to say, in my response, had to find that out on the completely other server from a different person when you could have told me that from the get-go. Like, all I'm getting here is excuses and no apology. Like, what the fuck, man? To which he responds, look, I'm just trying to give you the refund. I'm not going to say anything further. To which I responded, you're right. You shouldn't say anything else because God forbid I have to look at another excuse and no apology. To which Chase responds, right, just tell me how much you want for the refund so I can discuss it with the person covering it for me to send it to you because my PayPal can't. So, respectfully, I asked, why not? Chase responds, not fully verified. I can receive and transfer money to another wallet account, but it won't let me send money. That's why I'm asking, our friend a favor. My nationality ID still hasn't arrived in the mail. To which I responded, so why couldn't you explain that earlier? Is that why you don't make invoices either? To which he says, yes, again, I'm not making shit up. And he proceeds to show me a screenshot of his PayPal setup account set at like 2/3 and not fully like completed. And then he follows up with a screenshot. I legit can't verify it because I'm missing an ID I don't have. To which I also responded, so what's the plan now? As of now, you owe me $100, and that's not counting the fees, because PayPal does charge you a fee just to fucking use their app, and not subtracting from the work he's already done, because believe it or not, I was willing to let him keep some of the money, because he did some of the work, not all of it, but he at least did like 1/4 of the work. So granted, when he least fucking deserved it, because I'm pretty sure any other person probably would have just like taken back their fucking money and left him in the dust, I was going to be patient, or I was going to be nice and be like, you can still keep some of the money that you already put your fucking blood, sweat, and puss on. But no, he didn't like negotiate it. He just said, $100's okay. Just send your PayPal and I'll tell our friend to send the money. I sent it to him. Didn't say anything else after that. I got my money. Conversation over. So there's a lot of things I kind of learned from the situation. Is, for starters, me and Chase weren't really friends for that long. We were kind of only friends for like a couple months until I fucking realized this dude is like calling himself like an Asian hard R. So yeah, that was fucking crazy. And then he's out here fucking just full on just using the hard R as well, because I guess he finds racial slurs funny. And then to stack that on top, it was very obvious on how fucking racist he can really be, because then he was like getting into discussions about coloring skin tones, coloring characters like a darker skin complexion, and also complaining about people complaining not authentically coloring darker skin tones, like, you know, properly. And just for him to tell me to my face, by the way, that, oh, I'm neutral about this and art is just art. Well, if you're neutral about this and you're just expressing your opinion and that, you know, art is just art, then you would understand that, hey, if it's just art, why the fuck are you giving your opinion on it? If you were neutral, you would have not said shit. But no, you're just racist as shit and you feel like you're fucking validated because you honestly fucking believe that you could just reclaim the N-word and hard R. So yeah, Twitter's really gonna have fun with you in the future. What else have I learned? Make sure you commission somebody that can do a fucking invoice. If they can't do an invoice, then they're probably a fucking minor, and if you're still gonna pay them regardless if they don't make an invoice, hey, it's the price that you're gonna fucking pay. Like, I'm just as irresponsible in this situation as he's irresponsible in the situation. I gave him the trust. I gave him the money. I gave it to him on short notice. So, like, I'm not entirely, like, innocent in this situation. Like, I did commission him just out of the blue. I did commission him at a sale he was having. And then I gave him a little extra because I sent him $40 initially because he was having, like, a discount commission sale, whatever. And then I send him another 60 for alts because he wanted to pay for a Wi-Fi bill. And I thought, hey, I give you the $60 for your Wi-Fi and you can give me alts. And we agreed on it. Like, this was like an actual conversation we agreed on. I don't know. I'm gonna get too deep into it. I'm gonna start spiraling about it, but TLDR, I've learned a lot from this situation, and I've also learned that I can't just trust people out of the whim. This is probably gonna be the last time I'm probably ever gonna be commissioning a random stranger on the internet and not really knowing what their workflow was like. Because when I commissioned them, I learned after the fact how bad they were with their commissions. And I guess I just had to learn the hard way at the price of my patience, my respect, my time, and a friendship. So it really sucks that I have to fucking throw away our friendship in the end. I didn't want it. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to call him out, but push became shove. 11 months later was fixing to be a fucking year, and I literally was asking myself, like, do I wait after 11 months or do I wait after a year? I chose after 11 months. I gave him a chance. He didn't say nothing. He took advantage of my time. He took advantage of my patience, and he broke his promise to me because mind you, this isn't the first time he was ghosting me. This is the second time he was ghosting me. So again, you would think that for some reason in his head that it was valid to not only call me a faggot, first word by the way, and then follow up with fat ass and how I'm ignoring him and he's getting impatient because I didn't respond to him a day later, but God forbids he doesn't respond to me in a few months. A few months, and I get impatient. Okay, that's cool. So, on Twitter and Blue Sky, there's a @ that's called @ChazeDesu, ChazeDesu. If you see this bitch, don't commission him. Do not give him the time and effort for your fucking money, because he clearly has no respect for people that pay him, let alone respect in his work. I will end that rant here. Now we're going to hop into the NearsGarden topic. Buckle up, it's just as lame. Anyways, back to the episode.
Let's talk about NearsGarden, the fucking hot topic of the fucking past 2 weeks. NearsGarden. Where do you even fucking start? I'm not even gonna be as angry about the whole NearsGarden thing or whatever, because I've tried recording this singular episode for a long fucking time, for many times, I mean, and I just end up like regurgitating the same shit. So I'm probably just gonna keep it short and sweet and not maybe rant too much about it, because if I were to get into every single nitty grit and detail, I'm gonna be here for fucking forever. And I know some messy people might be like, okay, well, I got time. I fucking don't. And I don't feel like breaking it all down. So I'm just gonna fucking just give you the spark notes. And if you're still curious about it, I don't know, die curious. So NearsGarden. Let's just who is this bitch? NearsGarden, TLDR, Vocaloid related thing. This bitch built herself a small little community and trust. Yada 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 yada. They just basically made like a little bit of a name of themselves. They became like not semi well known. They just have like their own little community on a weird corner of the internet. Until recently, fairly fucking recently, someone decided to make a TikTok account calling out their recent relationship. That relationship being with an 18-year-old. Now you're probably thinking, okay, how old is NearsGarden? They're 24, 23, or like they're like around my age. I'm currently 23 right now. I forgot how old they are, or are they just 20? Either way, they're in their 20s. Period. They're in their 20s. Near and their boyfriend or their significant other. I don't know any bitches' fucking pronouns. I hate fucking queer pronouns, because when you just don't know them, you don't know them. Okay. Anyway, so them and their significant other's 18, they're in their 20s, yada yada yada. It's not that weird from like the naked eye, because when it got called out, it was just like, oh, Near's a fucking pedophile, and everyone's just like, well, technically no, because from the naked eye, it's a consenting relationship. Like, it seems it's consenting. Like, everybody is old enough, it's legal, nothing strange is going on. Like, okay, like, whatever. But then nosy people are being nosy, so then they dig a little further. Near has been friends with their significant others as young as when they were like 13? So as young as they were 13, and they were like 18, give or take. I don't fucking remember. That's the thing. So then it's just like, okay, whatever. So they know each other for a very long time. All right, okay, like whatever. Like nothing strange is going on. But then again, those people are being nosy. They're gonna dig even further. And it's like one of these situations where it's just like, it doesn't matter what they say or what they do. Like the cards that they have in their hand and the cards that are being presented just does not look good no matter how you try to twist it and turn it. Especially when you get the info of the fact that Near has went to their significant other's high school graduation. And that's where people really started losing their shit, because it's just like, so y'all have been friends since your significant other was 13. Y'all were just friends. Okay, cool. But then in between those lines, in between the times from like then and now, y'all have like made like ship art. It has been made adjacent that they have had a crush on you or a thing for you for a very long time. You've obviously didn't want to reciprocate it, but you were kind of well aware. But then you also went to their high school graduation. I know there's probably like a lot more details I'm missing out, but then you went to their high school graduation, and then they turn 18, and then y'all start dating like a week after they turn 18. Like it's just like, it's like it starts getting a little weird. It starts getting a little weird. You start scratching your head and you're just like, this is looking a little suspicious. But I can't help but squint my eyes a little bit. I don't know. There's so much I could like get into about the past, but to give everybody this fucking spark notes of like, hey, here's why I don't fuck with this person, and here's why I'm saying, yeah, Near has always been like this. They've always been a petty, psychotic bitch. As long as I fucking knew, and I've seen and heard this song so many fucking times from them that it's just like, I don't know if they actually give a fuck whether or not they are actually being criticized, because 90% of the time when they are criticized, they really don't take it that seriously. It's just, they're just so quick to brush it off. And it became very, very obvious to people how little they actually care about the situation, and how they're just willing to, like, you know, do this song and dance on just like, guys, let's take this seriously. La da 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 da. I'm gonna say the right things because it's music to your ears. Because they just train themselves to say the right shit over all these years. I could go in depth about like who and what they have affected, but they're so far gone and away from this fucking community. It's just, the most I can really say is they've always been weird. They've always been perverted. With or without minors, it doesn't matter who was in the situation. They just always been fucking weird. They've always had maybe a thing about queer people in general. That's always been a thing. They've harassed people, whether or not they want to fucking admit it or not. They like having their fucking ego stroked regarding like morals and shit, and they love pinning the blame on other people, and they always love to shrug their shoulders whenever they are confronted about something. But if you're not willing to like show the evidence first, then they're just gonna shrug their shoulders and be like, why would I ever say that? What? That, like, stuff like that should be taken very seriously. That's actually needs to be taken seriously. Like, I've seen it and heard before. Mind you, I haven't spoken to this fucking crazy bitch in like many fucking years. And I've seen it, I've heard it, I know how they act, I know how serious they can act, I know how serious they actually can be, and I know how serious they can't fucking be. And trust me, a lot of the things that they are quote unquote serious about, they're not really that serious about, because behind closed fucking doors, it is absolutely the fucking opposite. And the most I can really say is, hey, a lot of the shit that people are saying, a lot of the shit that people are coming out with, it's all true. It's right. If people are telling you, hey, they've actually stretched the truth about a current situation or a situation they had in the past, 9 times out of 10, it's completely stretched out and twisted and fabricated in their perspective. And I kind of just want to tell most of those people, like, hey, you're actually not fucking crazy. I actually do believe you, and everything you're saying is mostly true. Especially with the whole Mimo situation. I've actually used to talk to Mimo a long ass time ago, and I do remember that one song. I forgot what the fuck it was called. That's the thing. It was a Yandere song that featured Kenshi Pai's VCCV English Voice Bank. I remember making an English cover of it with an actual character that's supposed to have like Yandere characteristics with it. And I actually tried to contact them a long time ago for the UST for it, because they took down the song, and I was confused to why, and I just kind of just brushed it off as just like, oh, maybe they just didn't like the song anymore because it's old as shit. And it's, you start hating your craft the longer you like get better at it, or as time goes on, because all your old shit just looks like old shit and your new shit still looks like old shit. But on Blue Sky, I'm not sure if it's like a mutual of theirs or somebody they're really close with, but they ended up explaining that their relationship, because Mimo apparently used to date Ken-chan, aka NearsGarden, and Near tried to call them out as them exploiting them for some fucking reason, and also try to accuse them of being a was it groomer or abuser, something like that, and try to say like, and they were like almost 18 and I was like way younger than that. But in reality, they were both fucking minors, and they actually stretched the fucking truth from a fucking millions and millions and millions of fucking miles. I've also been fucking contributing to it by also recently outing the fact like, hey, NearsGarden used to actually abuse the YouTube copyright system. And how did I know it was Near? Because it will quite literally say their fucking username on the claim. Because if you ever have a video claimed before, or if you ever accidentally uploaded a piece of content that is copyrighted, 9 times out of 10 it will show you like on the screen like, hey, this content has been claimed by XYZ. If you want to dispute it, or you can like look it up, or like whatever, like it quite literally tells you this is claimed by blank. And my friend sent me a screenshot of their Utao cover being claimed by, you guessed it, NearsGarden. And Near would do this, and the very, very lovely Dave P, she also confirmed this as well, including their other friend Mackenzie, also known as Short King, also known as yeah, sorry. They've also confirmed this, and Dave P got into a little bit more detail with it, where Dave P explained that Near would often make depictions of other people in their vent covers or videos. And if you went out of your way to make any depictions of their character, Near, then Near would go out of the way and try and find a way to copyright claim it, simply because you're venting out your feelings, you're talking about them of any sort. And God forbid you have any negative emotions towards Near. because Near has always been the obsessive type, whether or not you have any, because if you have a negative feelings towards them or a negative perception of them, Near is like all of a sudden your number one fan. Like Near loves everything that you fucking do. Near just wants to like just squish away any of the negativity you might have towards them, to the point it becomes straight up obsessive. And when you can smell their bullshit for fucking miles away, you're just like, no, I actually don't want you anywhere near me. As a matter of fact, I really don't fucking like you, because, you know, whether or not it's a small little thing or a big fucking thing to you, like, you know, you're gonna push away Near, whatever big or small it is. And Near will never fucking accept that. Near would even try and go out of their way to start accusing you of things, will start portraying you as one of their biggest fucking bullies, which Near has done with past friends who are also my friends, where Near would, in fucking Gacha Life videos of all fucking things, would try and depict people as being like literally fucking horrible people as their biggest fucking bullies, and will make characters in their likeness just to fucking portray them as being evil. And it never made sense to me. And what's even more fucked up too, though, is that there was this one friend that Near had an on and off relationship with, like friendship wise, and for some reason, also a Gacha Life video type thing, were literally making this dude saying very horrible things to Near in this little Gacha Life video, because they quite literally made a character of his likeness and Near's likeness, and just making them say and do horrible shit. And they're putting together this video right in front of them in a Discord, and they're streaming it to like either one or two other people. Like, this is an actual fucking thing that they're doing, and they just think it's okay just to do, because for some reason it's so normalized to them, and I don't fucking know why. And then I remember there was this whole I think this came from like Mackenzie or Short King. What the fuck do I even call you? But I'm just gonna say Mackenzie, because Mackenzie sounds cunty. Mackenzie uploaded a video talking about hey, fucking Near gave me a sex ed talk for some reason, and I think they like traumatized the word G-spot to them for a while, which it's a little funny to laugh at now, but like maybe like back then it was like, ugh, yikes. But then there was also the Wicked Whims mod, which Near did touch on their fucking Google Docs, which I don't know if I'm gonna fucking ever dip my toe in talking about like the fucking mess of like their responses in Google Docs. It's a mess. When I read it the first time, I was just exhausted by the end of it, because I was just like, no, Near, get up on your good foot. Jeez Louise. But back on the Wicked Whims thing, like I said, Near's always been weird. Near's always been a pervert. There's nothing new about this. Whether or not Near wants to admit that or not, that they've always been weird and a pervert, you know, that's, you know, it's beyond me. I don't really fucking care whether or not they want to admit it or not, because I know what I know, and you can deny it all you want. I don't really give a fuck anymore. You know, Near's always been weird. With The Sims 4, they've always had wicked mobs for as long as I fucking know. And there was this one time she at the time, because they went by Ken-chan and they used she, her pronouns, they had a thing for this young queer guy, not gonna say his name, for a young queer guy who was very much younger than her, which is why I say that they just have a thing for young queer people, for young queer guys in particular. That this dude, very obvious, likes boys, likes kissing boys, only likes boys, made it obvious to them that, hey, I like boys. And Near just like making ship art with them, likes talking about shipping of their characters just really just getting a little bit weird and uncomfortable. But then it gets really fucking weird when one day Near just decided to stream The Sims 4 to them with the Wicked Whim mods on, and decided to show him both of their OCs fucking each other. Because that's a very cool thing to show a guy who clearly has no feelings towards you, to see a character that they voice and that they use just to watch them fuck you, essentially. Like, it's gross, it's weird, it's nasty, it's always been weird and gross. Ultimately, they still got rejected in the end, so I'm losing my train of thought. Oh yeah, the fucking response Google Docs. I almost forgot to touch on those. The first one that came out did not help their case, because they started off the doc with like, he was 13 and I was 18, and it only got a little weird at the very beginning, and that's where people really focus their weirdness from, where it's just like, I like how you highlighted the fact that they were super young and you were super old. But the doc was mostly like, everything was platonic until they eventually accepted their feelings or whatever, despite the fact they knew what kind of backlash they would get. To which people end up responding that if you knew the backlash, why would you still accept it? I don't know. That's an argument that y'all guys can have. I'm not really that a part of it. And then people start coming out with allegations. People start coming out just fucking tearing this bitch a new hole. I'm out here fucking dancing in the fire with everybody else, being like, hell yeah, Near's over party, Near's over party. I should have made that hashtag. Hashtag Near's over party. It would have been funny. Fuck. Damn it. You know what? A win's a win. At least Near's fucking dead. But yeah, allegations were coming out, and you know, skeletons were falling out of their closets, and you know, finally speaking out and letting other people know, like, hey, Near's actually talked shit about you. Near's actually done this. Near's done that. Da. And then Near, after like a week later, finally comes out with another response in our Google Doc, and oh baby, it gets more pathetic, because this is how you really know that Near was just at their weakest point, and they were just desperate for a attempt of redemption, because Near has been redeemed so many times among their peers that I just know what they're trying to do. I know what game they're playing. I know how they're playing it, and I know how they're phrasing it, because like I said, I've seen it so many fucking times. You just, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. That, I've seen it. I've dealt with it. I've even begged them to leave people alone, because how fucking batshit crazy they can be about them. So the second response comes out on this bitch ass of a Google Doc, to which it was immediately ripped to shreds upon impact, and they were essentially dragged through the fucking concrete, glass and rocks and everything, and was just not even given a fucking fighting chance. Like, they did not let that bitch get up. I'll just tell you that fucking much. And rightfully so, because the second response is really did show like their true colors, and it really cracked like this image that they held for so long, because it kind of started off semi-strong, semi-okay, where it was something along the lines of just like, hey, I'm gonna remove myself from the situation, I'm just gonna leave permanently, I'm not coming back anytime soon, even if I do come back, I'm not gonna come back as, like, you know, my name, I'm just gonna completely just be somebody else. which I find that very hard to do because, you know, your voice is kind of recognizable. Your likeness is also kind of recognizable. Someone's gonna clock your T one way or fucking another because nothing about you is that unknown, but that's just me. So it starts off a little strong where they're just like, I'm taking accountability, this, and that. And then it starts pointing the finger at the audience very fucking quickly. So they're addressing the allegations, but it kind of starts seeming less like addressing the allegations and more or less addressing the people of the allegations. So there's this one allegation that was going around saying like, hey, Near is selling these specific characters in Utah voice banks that they had no right to be selling, and they're just pocketing money from it. Which Utah voice banks are essentially like, you know, Vocaloid at home type of voice banks or whatever. That's how I'm gonna explain it. And it's just of like random OCs of people's creations. That's all you really need to know. And Near wanted to squash that allegation and being like, I didn't sell shit. I actually just gave them away to other people. So like any OC that I have that I created with other people, I rehomed them. I gave them to other people. So whatever y'all are claiming that I sold these things, start pocketing money from these characters that I didn't have permission to sell, I didn't do that. I just rehomed them. But then it started targeting a person, which I'm not gonna say who it is because just give them some fucking grace here. They were like targeting like a person being like, so I don't know why you're acting like you have high moral ground when you literally made me feel like shit in the past. You've hosted an unsafe space, blase, like just kind of just trying to get into them. And then they started mentioning other people that were completely irrelevant to the that were completely irrelevant to the whole sphere. Like, it was very messy and unorganized how they were trying to like confront people, but also try and squash the allegations, because it kind of seems like they're trying to address people, but also confront people, but then also confront the audience, but then also like it's just a fucking mess. And it quickly started losing the plot because all they basically wanted to say was everything is consensual, whether or not you guys care, and for some reason they point to the audience being like, because throughout the entire doc they do touch on many times how they're just like, you know, when I was in my talking shit era or when I was in my horrible person era, you know, I was hanging out with not good people. I was hanging out with bad influences. I was just young and dumb, like just making excuses at this point. And I'm not afraid to look at my past, which I think you kind of are, because you're not really touching the iceberg with this. But, you know, they're trying to be like, I should have known better and I should have done this better and blah, blah, blah. But these people should have known better and you guys should also know better and blah, blah, blah. Just trying to point the finger at us for like whatever fucking reason that just didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense because the whole time you're just pointing fingers throughout the entire doc. Like, I get what you're saying. It was consensual. All this is being blown out of proportion, blah, blah, blah. Okay, just leave it at that. But if you feel like you can't control the flames and you're just like, I'm going to exit the situation and I'm just not going to be here anymore. Okay, just leave it at that. But you're dragging all these other people in. And then on top of that, you're talking about this person that goes by Mimo or Mimoko or Mimo-kun, whatever the fuck you want to call them. You're dragging all these unwarranted parties into this doc to kind of bash on them still as like a final attempt to be like, I'm a victim too, because that's supposed to be like the plot twist or whatever. But again, no one believes that because it's just like, actually, that's a fucking lie because you lied. To which, you know, in the end, like I said, spoiler alert, they end up deleting the doc, they end up deleting tweets, they end up deleting responses, and that was like their final attempt. And that's when I finally clapped my hands together and, you know, started popping fireworks and shit and popping bottles and texting all of my old friends that knew Ken-chan personally, even the one that literally went to the same school with them. Which again, when I say I know Ken-chan, NearsGarden is just full of shit and full of bullshit because I used to be well, not that I used to be friends, we just don't really talk anymore. That I used to talk to somebody who quite literally was in the same district as them. Literally saw their face in real fucking life. I used to talk to that person and trust and believe they are batshit fucking crazy. Whether or not you want to believe me or not, I don't fucking care. NearsGarden is fucking dead. I texted my homegirl. I'm just like, hey, guess who's fucking dead? And they're just like, who? Ken-chan. And they're just like, this is the greatest fucking news I heard all year. And I'm just like, I know, right? And then I start spilling the tea to them. And they're just like, oh, that's not good. And I haven't sent them another message since then. So I wonder if they're doing all right. I should definitely send them another message. Be like, hey, so like, how are you doing? I know it's been years. And then I sent another message to another friend, that one friend that Near was having that on and off friendship with. I sent them a message. Well, no, I had to ask somebody else to send him a message because we don't really keep in contact anymore. He does not have like any interest of staying in contact with me, which is completely fine. I don't think either of us are worried about it because, you know, we're fucking grown and people grow apart, whatever. But I wanted him to know, because I'm not sure if he's in the loop or not, but I just wanted him to know that, hey, Ken-chan is fucking dead and we fucking won. To which his response was, I always get the last laugh. And with that, I think that should be the end of the episode. I'm always recording for literally an entire fucking hour. I know I'm probably missing a lot of details. I just want to talk a little bit of shit of NearsGarden. I shouldn't dedicate an entire episode to that fucking crazy bitch because they finally got what they deserve. I think karma definitely served them what they deserved. They let them build their empire. They let them build all this trust. They let them do this. They let them do that. They let them taste that success and then quickly took it away from them in the most unexpected way possible. And I could never feel more satisfied than that. Like nothing like this. It's like better than sex, even. So much better than sex and my favorite food in the world, which I don't know what that is. So yeah, shit is just good. Shit is awesome. But hey, if you guys like this episode, let me know. Leave a like, leave a comment. Have you tried the Dubai chocolate? What do you think about Labubus? Do you believe in the whole Pazuzu bullshit? Because I'm keep being told it's AI generated. And do you have a piece of NearsGarden lore that nobody hasn't known yet? Leave it in the comments below. Do you disagree with me about anything that I fucking say? Do you think NearsGarden is innocent? Because I'm gonna be entirely honest, I don't give a fuck whether or not you agree or disagree, because I'm gonna be entirely honest. The bitch is already gone. I don't give a fuck anymore. Bitch, I'm fucking winning. All I do is win, no matter what. Okay, that was cringy. But alright. I gotta go. You gotta go. We all gotta go. We all don't got all fucking day on this shit. So I'll see you guys in a whole nother episode. Bye bye.